officials in December 2009. Now, according to the ambassador's testimony, Attorney General Dorothy Lightburn gave approval for the lawyer to attend the meeting. Ambassador Coy was appointed Permanent Secretary in November of 2009, some 3 months after the Coke extradition saga started, but by mid-month she was coordinating meetings in a bid to stave off the impasse between Kingston and Washington. The Justice Ministry had by that time written to her office, stating that there were questions about the request the U.S. needed to answer. She said meetings were held with Minister Ken Baugh, Attorney General Dorothy Lightburn, the Solicitor General Douglas Lays, and the Charge d'Affaires Isaiah Parnell, but there was no progress on the matter. It was then decided that a technical delegation should go to Washington. She admitted that Douglas Lays told her they would be joined in Washington by 2 lawyers who were aware of the U.S. justice system. However, she did not pay sufficient attention to an email he sent as to who these lawyers would be. She added that at a briefing at the ambassador's residence the night before the meeting, Harold Brady showed up with another lawyer. She said the following day Deputy Solicitor General Laxton Robinson told her that the lawyer from the night before would be joining them. Ambassador Coy said she was angry at the development, as there was no permission given for anyone to join the delegation, and confronted the Solicitor General.
I stated that I maintained my objection to his inclusion in the delegation, and at that point Mr. Lays told me that he had his minister's approval. I then terminated my discussion with him.
She said Laxton Robinson, Lees herself, and the lawyer, who she identified as Kevin DeGregory, attended the meeting where U.S. officials defended the extradition request and insisted there was no breach in the treaty. The officials also said that the extradition treaty was not the only agreement used to guide the extradition request. Ambassador Coy said after the meeting the chauffeur was late in coming for them, and the lawyer, DeGregory, offered that they wait at his office.
Did you identify which office this was, or which offices?
I did not know at the time. I did not know at the time.
Do you now know?
I now know.
What offices were those?
It was a part of the offices of Mannat, Phelps, and Phillips.
She said Lees proceeded to tell a senior partner in the firm, Suzanne Schmidt, details of the just concluded meeting. She said on her return to Jamaica it was more back and forth between Kingston and Washington, and ultimately intervention was sought from the Assistant Secretary of State. On the cross-examination, Frank Phipps, who represents the Jamaica Labour Party, grilled Ambassador Coy about a breach in the handling of the extradition and the additional agreements governing extraditions between Jamaica and the U.S. outside of the treaty. Ambassador Coy said there are 3 memoranda of understanding. She has never read them, and there is no record of the memoranda in her ministry. She, however, got copies of them after the U.S. officials mentioned them and passed them on to Senator Malahoo Fort, who was attending a meeting in Washington. So what do these memoranda say about extraditions? When were they signed, and why is the ministry not in possession of them? In the meantime, the commission had to be re-adjourned till Thursday, as witnesses have not been supplying statements. Given the references by Ambassador Coy to Harold Brady in her testimony today, Government Attorney Hugh Small believes the person next best to appear before the Commission is Mr. Brady himself. However, Harold Brady has written to Emile George stating that he will not be appearing before the Commission because information he has is privileged information. Mr. George says he expects all outstanding statements to come in by Friday. Will Mr. Brady comply, or will he have to be subpoenaed?
In this Newswatch follow-up now, on the heels of the opening of the Ian Fleming International Airport in Boscobel, St. Mary, there are signs of trouble this evening. Someone or a group of persons defaced a sign in what is believed to be a show of displeasure with the naming of the new facility.
If them say Ian Fleming Airport, me don't see the problem. You know, I don't see a problem with it.
Not so fast, Mr. Chambers. Not everyone seems to agree with you, and some who don't made it known. Monday morning, sometime between 4 and 5 o'clock, just 2 days after the colorful opening of the Boscobel facility, the discovery of what appears to be engine oil splattered over the gateway sign, which is easily accessible from the roadway. The dark-colored substance stuck making ugly the blue and white sign hoisted outside the perimeter of the premises. Early speculation is persons in and around the vicinity of the airport, said to attract heavy spenders and luxury travellers, are not too keen that the facility was named after a foreigner, despite the Prime Minister's explanation.
And we wanted to be able to make this facility and to say to people, hey, you know, this was where Ian did that James Bond thing. This is the place where that creativity erupts. If you want to erupt, you get on your private jet and you fly down here quickly and you get a piece.
Mr. Chambers, a parishioner who happened to be passing by, disagrees, however, with what seemed like an impulsive reaction.
You know, I don't really appreciate how the man in the face the sign, you know. If they don't appreciate the name, what them should do is protest when the Prime Minister was here and not wait until everything gone up now and it will cost taxpayer X amount of money to put it up back.
He says even though the level of consultation with the residents was found wanting, 2 wrongs will not equate to a right.
Enough people not here, I never know. You know, but that no give them no right to the face the sign, you know. Because the country go through some economic problem and we all know what is what. You can't afford to spend what we don't have now.
Monday morning was the first real test of the new municipal transport centre in downtown Kingston. And although there were hiccups and many disgruntled commuters, authorities say everything should have been ironed out by the end of the day. More from Kalila Enriquez.
It was confusion for many at the new transport center Monday morning. The center opened at 5 a.m. with a shuttle bus transporting commuters from nearby areas to the facility. All except one person we spoke with said they were having a difficult time maneuvering the new system.
It's easier when you have the other bus stop or just leave from the market and go across it. Take a bus. But with this one, this is very hard.
I don't know because there's no it is sort of confusing for me because I have to get up very early now in the morning if I'm going to make it to school on time. Because normally I get up like 6 o'clock to make breakfast for the kids to get out. You understand? But now I have to get up like 5.
Relocation is so far enough. I guess it will work, but I think it's going to take less than a month, but it will definitely work.
Vendors also found themselves locked out Monday morning, leaving commuters and workers hungry and vendors irate.
Come here, want a cup of tea, nothing to eat from morning.
Because we used to sell at the St. Thomas bus stop. So when we come down here this morning, we come to see why is it. The Prime Minister said there is no vending down here. It is not fair, Mr. Bruce, because we have a lot of children to go to school.
But Town Clerk Errol Green says all the issues should be resolved by this afternoon.
This is the first day of operation, and as in anything else, there are going to be teething pains. We have listened to the commuters. Some of the concerns that they have is that we can't get a bottle of soda, we can't get a bottle of water, I can't get a phone card. We knew from the outset that there's going to be need for these services, and but we don't want it to be chaotic. So we are, even as we speak, registering vendors to operate here.
In addition, he says there are plans to add more signs and a public announcement system. Of note is that route taxi operators have stayed away from the center. According to the town clerk, none of them used their designated area. However, he says discussions are in progress with those operators.
Meanwhile, Police Commissioner Owen Ellington has issued a stern warning to extortionists known to plague bus operators in the downtown Kingston area. The police chief says his officers will be ensuring this practice does not take place at the new facility.
We'll find something lawful and lucrative to do, because if they continue to prey on our citizens, they're going to run into me, and they're going to find out it's not a worthwhile undertaking.
The commissioner, who was on a tour of the transportation center this afternoon, said he wanted a first-hand view of operations at the facility and to see how his office could help to ensure a smooth transition. In welcoming the move, he says it should provide a significant boost to policing in downtown Kingston.
We are in a position to give a better assurance to our citizens that we can protect them as they go about their business. So it is a welcome development, and we are committed to ensuring that it works and works well. That is why we have the levels of deployment that we have here.
Increased police presence across the island is continuing to reap success for the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the JCF. Statistics have so far revealed that for the first 2 weeks of 2011, there has been approximately a 48% reduction in murders. In 2010, 65 murders were registered for the first 2 weeks of the year, in comparison to the 34 recorded for the same period this year.
It is as a result of the improved relationship between the police and the public. The better that relationship gets, the better these figure becomes. We're opening up some conference center in Montego Bay this morning. You hear the minister talk about the thousands of people coming to Jamaica. People are feeling more secure.
SP Forbes, who was speaking on CVM at sunrise this morning, explained that the drive will also continue to rid the force of the undesirable elements.
Scores of angry residents of Enfield in St. Mary blocked the main road in the community for hours today to protest what they say is foot-dragging by the authorities in addressing long-standing problems. As Dara Smith reports, they turned their wrath on their Member of Parliament, Tarn Peralto.
The Enfield residents were determined to have their voices heard, even if it meant doing so in the rain. They blocked the entrance to the Enfield community and adjoining districts, resulting in inconvenience for many. According to the protesters, their main road is littered with potholes. They say they have received too many unfulfilled promises to address the problem, so with a section of the road being washed away with the heavy rainfall over the weekend, they demanded that Tarn Peralto act now.
I need to see Mr. Peralto this morning right now. And if we don't see Mr. Peralto, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, road block, damn we here. You hear? Because we need good road. And too much promises and it not fulfilling the amount of pool what we have in the road up there. It's more than tongue can tell. We have to swim. So Mr. Peralto, we need you right now.
There is also the problem of the bridge in their area, which has been ordered closed due to disrepair. They are fearing for their health if the structure is not repaired.
We really need some help on here. Want to look at the cry and see what we are talking about. CVM come up the last night, so now see what we are talking about. And again, me tell you again, if we come and do something about the bridge, we are going to have cholera sooner or later because the people might throw the rubbish in the river. Because the rubbish up now come there. And when they lock the bridge and down at Jonah Pen, and Enfield and Fort and things, there are mere people can carry and throw the rubbish in the rubbish truck. What do you think of that?
Principal of the Mount Joseph Primary School, Delia Johnson, told CVM that her school depends on the river for its water supply, even for cooking. She says the school does not have potable water, even though pipelines have been laid.
When the children use the bathroom, sometimes we are afraid to send them to the river to get water to wash their hands. When it rains heavily, like now, and the river is in spate, we can't prepare any lunch for the children. This has been going on for a long time, and we have spoken to the Member of Parliament on several occasions, and all we have been getting is promises.
With the protest lasting for some 5 hours, the residents succeeded in getting the attention of the National Water Commission. The road was only cleared when the police intervened and appealed to the protesters to clear the roadway, allowed for the authorities to view the conditions in the area. Dara Smith, CVM News.
We made repeated attempts to reach the Member of Parliament for a comment, but calls to his cellular phone went to voicemail, and up to news time, he did not respond to messages we'd left.
Buju Banton's Before the Dawn concert, held on the weekend in downtown Miami's Bayfront Park, is being hailed a success. It was both a somber and electrifying moment when the Gargamel graced the stage. Sadiqa Dharam was there.
After hours of anxiety and expectation, it was time for the fans who journeyed from various parts of the world to see Buju Banton in concert. To fans, this is just another exceptional performance from Buju Banton, but to his legal team, this is rather a miracle.
But I thought there was absolutely no chance of him being allowed to perform. And David, who's always extremely positive and always will fight tooth and nail to the end, said no, he's going to be able to perform.
I think the reason we were able to accomplish this stuff is because Judge Moody had a chance to hear the trial and hear from Buju and get to know him.